This is actually an absolute blast, dude. So this is the new kid on the block, the 72 volt Rexx T01. I kind of just want to call it the T-Rex. And looking at the spec sheet here, this thing is probably going to put the MX4 and the original Surron Lightbee to its graveyard for good. Why do I say that? Well, this is 72 volts. Those other bikes are 60 volts. Yep. This one is 7,500 watts of peak power. They say it can go 50 miles an hour, which we'll be testing here later. And the price. The price is always a big one, right? Normal list price is $31.99, but I have a monster discount code linked below the video in the description box. So it's significantly cheaper than those other two bikes. But is the T-Rex any good? Let's review it and find out. So as we can see, it comes in a freaking huge box. And it does appear to be mostly built. And the frame on this is high carbon steel. Definitely has a different feel than the typical aluminum. Foot peg looks familiar. It's actually got a 428 chain, which just looks absolutely monstrous. The 428 chain is bigger, thicker, and stronger than a typical 420 chain we see on these. The sprocket on the back is a 44 tooth. That'll let us hit those higher top speeds, but you could always swap that out for a bigger one if you want more torque down low. The rim on the back is a 17 by 2.15. It's got a little bit of Rexx branding. Rear tire is a 110 by 80, 17 inch. And a quick glance at that tread, you can tell this thing is meant for some serious off-roading. Thick looking spokes. And check out the seat on this thing. Nice stitching. Look at the shape of it. It's got hips, real wide up here in front. Super long seat. We'll give it a try in a bit. It's got NFC and a pretty stylish looking rear light. Rear suspension is a cartridge style coil shock. It is KKE with a compression adjustment, and there's also a rebound adjustment down here. And that shock is sitting on a linkage for additional leverage. And we'll get to the motor and the battery in a bit. Here's a look at the handlebars they give us and the grips, rubber grips. Handlebars are direct mount, 4 bolts. And we'll look at the display in a few. Here's a look at the front wheel. We've got a 19 inch on front, 17 on the back. This one is a 70 by 100. And the tread on the front one is a little bit less aggressive. Brake rotors are fairly large, listed as 3 millimeters thick. They do look thick. And obviously a through axle. The rim on front is a 19 by 1.6 for those who care. Up front, we have a custom inverted suspension with 170 millimeters of travel. Beefy looking brakes, we'll see those in a minute. Front fork does not appear to have any sort of adjustments for the suspension. It does have a steering lock on the front. So it comes with a set of keys, including the actual physical keys as well as your NFC unlock chip. Nice. Actually, it comes with 2 NFC chips. So I think we can pop the seat open. Yup, that makes the seat come right off. And now we can get under the hood of this bad boy. We see it is a 72 volt, 35 amp hour battery pack. Got a little button here. This is one place to charge it. The main charge port is out here on the outside of the bike. So let's see how hard this thing is to get out of there. Not bad at all, actually. So as we all know, the battery is an important part of our ride. Here's all the numbers and everything on it for you. Rated for 20 watt hours, 72 volt, 35 amp hour. 38 pounds on this bad boy. Got a little weight machine here, bro. So as you already know, it's always a trade-off with weight on your battery. Obviously, more weight can be more range, but also a heavier bike. I'm an idiot. I took this battery out of here so it'd be easier to build this bike, and I just put it back in anyway. So we should be done with this build soon. The bike is actually pretty balanced on the stand, so this isn't too hard. Not too bad. So the front wheel attaches with a through axle on this one. There are no pinch bolts to worry about snugging down. Kickstand is a little bit short. I think they could work that out though. So let's slide that battery in there, connect it up, and put the seat on. This is a heavy bike, bro. We gotta weigh it. So we're gonna power it up in a minute. We're powering it up right now. I put the kickstand up and it's talking to me. But first, I just wanna kind of feel it out. So I'm 6'5", inseam 34. Let's see what it's like swinging a leg over. So just standing here, it actually feels like, you know, it's like about the right height for me, standover height wise. I have a little bit of room there. And sitting on the seat, we got, oh man, I think I snapped a zip tie or something. So sitting on the seat, suspension feels real nice and floaty. Front suspension feels quite soft. We do have the back brake on the left, which is excellent. For those of you who want to be popping a wheelie, you can control the throttle one hand, control the back brake with the other hand. Believe it or not, I have seen E-Motos running back brake on the throttle side. Dummies. This thing looks pretty sweet, dude. I have to say, I love the way it looks. It just looks like way more polished than a lot of the bikes we've been seeing. Let me show you the other side. This has some substantial weight to it, which might make us feel a little more sturdy at speed. Dude, on my modified Surron 72 volt that went 70 miles an hour, that bike weighed, I think, like 130, if that. It felt so freaking sketchy at speed. Dude, look how far this kickstand leans though. Wow. I'm gonna actually try and lean this thing against the wall here. Please do not fall, bro. So I just wanna show you what this thing looks like from the other side. We got the Rexx motor here. As mentioned, here is the charge port. I'll show you that charger in just a minute. So the hoses for the hydraulic brakes look like actual, like real motorcycle hose lines. These are not bicycle brakes like we saw on the Surron. And apparent 4-piston hydraulics. Giant rotor, as I already showed you. Swinging around the backside, we can see it also has this hydraulic line running to what appears to be a giant single piston caliper on the rear, and also a giant rotor. So it does have like a, I guess you could call it a bash guard. Like this is actually part of the frame here, and then a bash guard on the motor. We can't really see too much beyond. Oh, there's some numbers down there. What's that say? Well, that's the numbers on the motor down there. Rexx motorbikes. The T01. We are about to unleash the T-Rex. Got a little bit of protection on them stickers. Actually, on like every sticker, there's a little protective piece. I feel like this kickstand could be about, oh, I don't know, 5 inches longer. It's supposed to have some pretty quick charging, which it does say quick charge on the charger. 72 volts, charges 84 max, 10 amp charger. Got a fan on there and all. So 35 amp hour battery pack divided by 10 amp charge rate, 3.5 hours to charge from completely empty to completely full. This is the rubber grip on the left. We get headlight modes, turn signals, horn, another high beam. And here's a look at the brake levers. They feel good, feel like real motorcycle brakes. Then on the right, we have a full twist throttle, of course. And that is built into this little gadget here with a park switch, on off button, mode, and your emergency blinkers, as well as obviously your other brake. Don't think we need to leave this down there. And let's try the NFC chip. So just place it on there, I'm guessing. Yes, sir. So fires right up, and we can see battery is due for charge, sitting at 37%. It is a color display, it's in park. So you can see it shows eco. So we have our little mode button on the right. If I press the mode, nothing happens, probably because the kickstand's down. Put that kickstand up, grab a brake lever. So it shows park. Oh yeah, it's ready. So we get a little bit of sound. So now that it's ready, press the mode button, you get sport mode, eco mode. Yeah, sport and eco. Nice and simple. So there's the light on the rear. Lights up when I grab the brake lever. If I put on a turn signal, yeah, the turn signals must be separate. No signal on front either, but there is this pretty cool looking light. High beam, low beam. How loud is the horn? Let's try it. Extremely loud. So I want to try and give this thing a little bit of throttle. Eco mode. Okay. I can already feel those knobbies, bro. There. This is gonna be sketch. Yeah, let's just give it a go, bro. Yep. Pretty sure you're not supposed to do this. Oh my goodness. We better stop. All right, dudes, let's get on the Rexx T01 for a rip. I do want to get a weigh-in on this bike if possible. The stand weighs about 12.8 pounds, right at 13-ish. Don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. Okay, so this is not, yeah, that's not really working so well because I got to pick up the front a little bit. That says, the scale's saying like 190, but I'm kind of like, you know, I'm pressing on the scale a little bit, so It's not quite balanced. I mean, even with the front wheel sitting on the ground, that's 188 minus 12, 176 pounds with the front wheel sitting on the ground. So this bike is probably closer to 200 pounds. And you can feel this bike got some weight to it. So of course we're gonna check our official range, see how we do on this battery. And we'll fire this thing up with the NFC. Fires right up. We do have a speaker in there that makes a little bit of noise. Starting out on a full charge in park, all we do is tap the P there, and we're ready. Eco mode, sport mode. Let's try eco and roll out. So obviously big torque on this thing. We're just gonna roll up to 20% grade on eco. I'm not trying to get injured right away. Maybe later, we'll see. All right, so initial impressions on this bike, bro. The very first thing I noticed getting on this thing is rolling at like 5 miles an hour. Those knobby tread tires on the back is like straight up like vibrating my entire body in this bike. Obviously, I mean, it's just knobby tread riding on a street. Now, once you get rolling about 10 miles an hour, you're fine. All the knobbiness, you don't feel it anymore. Other first impressions on this bike, I absolutely love how wide the seat is and how my legs like hug right here on the frame of the bike. It has, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily soft touch plastic here, but at least it's not like straight up steel you're grabbing onto. And I also just kind of noticed there's no like plastic fender on the rear, so it's real easy to kind of just like hop on this thing for me anyway. So eco mode, it's chill. I'm flooring it, which is cool. I mean, it's got 2 riding modes, so you can put this thing basically on eco mode, chill mode, get good range, and also you know, put somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with motorcycles on this thing. Let's just hit the eco mode. So I weigh 200 pounds, this bike weighs, I think, under 200 pounds. Eco mode, go. Yeah, so it's not gonna like pop a wheelie or anything crazy. And it gets you up to about 28 or so. Next impressions, I just feel like I'm riding a straight up motorcycle because I mean we are. There's no pedals on this thing. We have a seat. It's got big power. This is an electric motorcycle. So still in eco mode. We got the 428 chain on there. I think this is the first time I've actually tried a 428 chain. So bigger and thicker than the kind of chain you get on a Surron or Talaria or basically any other electric dirt bike from what I know. Also, this fender on the front looks real unique. It just got kind of a more aesthetic look to it compared to most of the stuff on the market that I've seen. So power feels, you know, instant throttle response, no lag or anything funny. I can see the screen with my polarized shades on, so always love to see that. The screen's real bright, real visible, even out here in the bright sunlight. And now let's throw it on sport mode, get a feel for it. It's pretty juicy. Onboard speedometer appears to be correct. All right, so with a 200-pound rider, let's give it a top speed run, see how it does. So full throttle, 20, 30, 40, 45. Onboard is showing 50. My GPS is showing 47. I'll get a little aerodynamic. And yeah, showing right at 47. Doesn't matter if I'm aerodynamic or not. It has enough power to overcome any wind resistance from sitting completely upright. It's definitely pretty zippy, man. This is a zippy bike. So they say what, 7,500 watts, 8,000 watts, somewhere in there. In terms of power and acceleration and all that, you always have to take into consideration power to weight ratios. So I actually don't know the exact weight on this bike, but I can tell, you know, there's substantial mass of this, which does make this thing feel very stable when you're going 47, 50 miles an hour. Feels real planted to the ground, but you can feel it's got a little bit of weight to it. Let's see if the front end will pop up just under power. Oh yeah, front end comes up. Yeah, so you could definitely ride wheelies on this. I mean, it feels powerful. It doesn't feel like, you know, excessively like it's just gonna flip you off the back though. Like front end will come up under power wheelie, and yeah, you could bounce it, and if you're skilled enough, you could ride a wheelie on this. I'm not trying to go to the ER today. I'm I'm also noticing like you can sit way up on the front, like way up here, because there's a padded seat that's wide all the way to the front. So like if you're trying to keep the front end down and get a good launch in on this thing, you could do that. Middle of the seat also feels good. I mean, you have like this narrow patch right here. So, you know, I really like how you can move around on the seat on this bike. It actually feels quite a bit comfortable. You know, unlike compared to like, you know, the Surron I used to ride all the time. My number one complaint with that Surron that I rode all the time was just like sitting on that narrow seat, dude. I really dislike the super narrow seats because they're just, you know, they're just not comfortable to be on, man. I love a nice, wide, comfortable seat, and that's what I'm feeling on this bike so far. Rear suspension's also pretty soft too. So this is a dirt bike. Let's do a little bit of off-roading. We'll try some more up by the beach. I think I'm actually gonna try and get this thing out in the sand and just go freaking absolutely crazy. So the knobby tread on the rear is really set up to like ride off-road, obviously. It should bite into just about anything. Off-road here, I can feel, you know, you feel a little bit of chatter, but you know, it's pretty soft, good suspension on a 4-bar linkage back there. And also a lot of ground, whoa, about tripped on that curb there. A lot of ground clearance on this one too. So I like that this bike sticks up pretty high off the ground. Man, those knobbies are picking up everything. Sticky knobbies. I gotta say, man, this bike is an absolute joy to ride though. I am thoroughly enjoying this riding experience. It's very comfortable to be on this bike. Riding position is nice and power is plentiful. Let's actually get a quick top speed run on this thing. I'll sit on the front here, 200-pound rider, ready, go. So you can full throttle it sitting on the front, 25, 30, 40, and this thing accelerates very, very quickly. Let's hit that one more time here. So all my weight up on the front, keep the front end down, and ready, go. 20, 30, 40. It levels off right at about, yeah, 45, 50. Enough to get you in some big trouble, that's for sure. So let's ride this thing on this little trail right here on the side. It's not the most glamorous trail, but it does kind of give you an idea, you know, where this bike excels. Like there are a lot of imperfections. It's like, you can tell the suspension, the tires and everything on this electric dirt bike are indeed set up to handle well for some trail riding. This thing feels totally at home out here. Suspension actually feels quite soft, eating up all the bumps. Now there is no adjustability on that front suspension, but it does feel set up good out of the box the way it is. And then the rear shock, it supports my weight of 200 pounds real good. I mean, that coil shock on there is real thick, and I don't really know, man, but whatever's going on in combination with the seat, the suspension, the tires, this thing feels fantastic riding it on a little bit of off-road surface. And I cannot wait to get out on the sand and go full psycho mode out there. But before we do that, let's get a little sample, just ripping on this rather rough surface here. Yeah, this is totally fine. Let's just get a sample on the sand here, see how it's gonna do. Okay, so I can feel that front tire is kind of more of like a dual sport tire, and the rear is like super knobby, but the front, we're not tracking quite as straight as compared to the rear, super knobby, but nonetheless, this thing is, you can feel the weight of this, man. It's, you gotta catch it quick if you start getting sideways. Let's see how this does. All right, so a lot of weight over the rear. Yeah, so yeah, you can feel the front kind of sway in just a little bit there. We might have some troubles, but we're gonna try riding on the sand because tires are on 27 PSI as well. And I'm just now realizing this does not have brake cutoff sensors, which is awesome because that means we can do a burnout for the back wheels, so cool. And you know, man, as I'm riding this thing, what I'm really starting to think is Talaria and Surron are gonna be in trouble. I mean, considering the price of this bike and the price of the Surrons and Talarias, and considering what you get, especially right now when this bike's on sale, and when you use my coupon code, I don't know, bro. I feel like Surron and Talaria are gonna be they're gonna be hurting after people start learning about the Rexx, the T-Rex, the Rexx T01. This thing, considering the price, I feel like is actually a really good deal. Now, if you're looking for a bike to modify, obviously, you know, there's really not probably a big aftermarket for the Rexx. Obviously, it's a brand new bike, but if you're just looking to, you know, spend just over $3 grand on an electric dirt bike and just have, you know, a nice polished, pretty sweet bike, actually, why the heck would you buy a Surron or a Talaria? I don't even think it makes sense. Let's go try this thing on the sand though. All right, so this probably isn't one of the wiser things I've ever done, but let's see how this thing can actually do riding on the sand. So I'm gonna try and get some weight over the rear and juice it. So obviously plenty of power, and yeah, I mean, I'm not even on full throttle right now, mostly because it's more of a battle of traction here, but this thing is just cooking along. Obviously that front tire is, you know, it's a little bit of a struggle on the front tire. Rear tire is just absolutely hooking and dripping and throwing sand everywhere behind me right now. So I could never really ride my Surron out here. The tires just aren't wide enough. The rear tire on this one is just, wow, this is actually an absolute blast, dude. Oh my goodness, I could get used to this. Let's stop and take a picture or two over here. Oh, throwing up dirt everywhere, bro. Oh gosh, that water's coming up. I just realized I'm probably not even gonna be able to like put this down because it leans so far, the whole thing's gonna tip over. Yeah, how the heck? Oh, you know what? It's actually working. The kickstand has like a wide platform on it. Gotta tell you, man, this is a very fun day. So, to be an absolute idiot, I'm gonna hop on this bike and basically get sand all up in the drivetrain. So, front brake, you can hold in, lock it up. Oh, you gotta take it out of park. Oh god. Yeah, that tire just hooks right in there and oh, there's sand everywhere. We might just get stuck under the ground here. That was a dumb idea. Dude, I have this beautiful seat. Just talking about how awesome this bike is. Now I'm out here ruining it immediately, not even halfway through the first ride. So yeah, example A, why you don't ride your bike in the sand. So we are currently 10 miles into this ride, 67%. Let's see how it does riding down in the more hard packed sand here. Just fine, man. It's like a proper dirt bike riding down here now. Oh my goodness, this is so bad for the drivetrain. The salt water and all the sand getting in the chain right now. But I would say this bike could probably just ride out here indefinitely, never overheat or anything like that. I mean, so I think I'm just gonna turn left here and see if we can actually ride all the way back through all this soft sand. Oh yeah, dude, it like almost does like better out here over like when the sand gets dry. Yeah, it's like better traction somehow. Dude, I feel like I'm just like riding through a desert right now, except we're going through like insane resistance. Oh dude, this thing rips, bro. That, just like that rear tire, it's so wide and so knobby. Even on 27 PSI, it's like no problem. I was not expecting to do that today, but I'm so glad I did because it was so freaking fun. Oh god, dude, this bike is awesome. We're gonna head on home and check the final range. I'll share my final thoughts along the way. Yeah, I mean, pretty much for the price, I think this thing's actually a pretty sweet deal, especially when you use the discount code, extra $100 off in the link below the video. I saw the price kind of hopping around a little bit at just over $3,000. Definitely feels like a pretty darn good bang for the buck on this bike, especially if you're just like looking for like a pretty sweet bike right out of the box that you don't really plan on having to modify every single thing on it. It's got a comfortable seat, plentiful power. I mean, kind of the one downside I would say would just be the weight of it. If you see that as a downside, having, you know, as I mentioned though, you know, there are benefits to more weight. It makes you feel a little more stable at speed. You really don't want to be going 50 miles an hour on something that doesn't have enough mass to support that power and speed. And I didn't really comment too much on the brakes, but I love that it does not have brake cutoff sensors. I love that the back brake is on the left, plenty of power to lock it up. Brakes on this thing feel great, man. I would never ask for more braking power on this bike. It's super solid. Another thing about the top speed on this bike, it doesn't seem to matter if you're going into a headwind or if the battery's at 50% or whatever the deal is. It just hits 50 miles an hour on there, 47 on my GPS regardless, which is plenty to get out here and hang with the big boys, the cars that is. That dude just ran that light. All right, let's talk about range, bros. So we were out there absolutely decimating. You saw how we rode on the sand. We put this bike through hell today. Hour and 10 minutes ride time, averaging 14 miles an hour, did 16 and a half miles, and it is showing 45% remaining on the battery. So, you know, carrying around my 200-pound body and the weight of this bike, just absolutely decimating the way we did. You can use the watt hours in the battery for power and fun, or you could chill and get more range out of it, but that's my observed results today. So the T-Rexx, the Rexx T01, absolute thrill to ride this thing if you do want to grab one. Use that link down below, use my coupon code at checkout, save yourself some money and also help support your boy. This is a pretty darn sweet bike. So if you're gonna grab one, grab one. However, if this is not the kind of electric bike for you, bro, watch this video. I'll catch you over there.